Hello everyone and welcome to my video presentation. My name is Konstantinos Marangos and I will be talking throughout this video. If you're watching this, then most probably you are on a social network. In this presentation, we are going to talk about social networks, but we are going to see a different approach. So these topics are what we are going to talk about. And starting with the first topic, I remember something like 15 years ago, at the age of 20, I got my very first home computer. And among other extreme features, it came with a modem to connect to the internet. So actually, when I was a kid, I didn't have a computer, nor did the internet exist. So we have come a long way today, where online social interaction has become a must-do activity for almost everyone. And apart from a socializing platform, it has become a business, education, marketing, and a learning platform too. Today, Facebook alone has reached the mark of 1.2 billion users, and moreover, there are hundreds of other social networking sites for absolutely anything. Most definitely, our online social interaction has brought to our lives and businesses enormous benefits and possibilities, and all that are more than obvious and accepted. So literally, this is what we call the rise of social networks. Now, as far as technology, we will agree it has brought to our doorstep the whole world. It provides us with access to any information and to unlimited online resources. Basically, a gateway to almost anything. Let's see this.
Schmidt, Peters, Jansen, Hermanns. Is your son home?
Yes, he's up in his room. Come in.
Hi, is Kevy here?
Yeah, upstairs.
Well then, we'll go up.
Good location.
Where's Kev?
There.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Is this little Anna?
In real life, you'd protect your children. So why not protect them on the internet?
What do you think? When we say a gateway to anything, is anything always welcome? What is defined as a social network? A definition given by Wikipedia explains that an online social network is a web-based platform built to support social relations among people who share ideas, interests, activities, or real-life connections. It incorporates information and communication tools such as messaging, mobile connectivity, photo, video, sharing, and blogging. And going to the next topic, we are going to see some very interesting capabilities of social networks. As far as technology, social networking sites have introduced all sorts of capabilities that have made our online interaction much more interesting and exciting. But at the same time, there are questions being raised on the idea that what can really happen when those capabilities are abused? For example, it has always been illegal to stalk other people. You couldn't just take your binoculars and stare at other people's personal life, could you? But now, you can very easily stalk other people at any distance. They can be on the other side of the globe and they wouldn't even know you were there. Moreover, it is not considered as abnormal behavior. Some may also argue that this capability is what social networking sites are all about. But realizing this now, does it make you feel comfortable with it? Next is unquestionably a useful capability. Geotagging is the technology that can tag any electronic file with geographic information. For example, photos taken from GPS-enabled iPhones or Androids can tell you at which exact location on Earth they were taken, and this information follows the photo when you post it online. Geotagging is applied to almost any kind of file that goes through your device. And the question here is, what personal information can be extracted from this capability? And to what extent it can result in a potential bad abuse? Can your home and work locations be identified from your posted photos? Would you be okay with that? Following is a computing algorithm that can recognize people's faces in pictures and is used massively in social networks. For example, let's say I have a library of thousands of photos and I want to list photos that one specific person is appearing on. Face recognition can do this in just a few seconds. And coming to the last capability, I want to note data analytics. Data analytics are computational algorithms that can collect data from your online profiles to perform various analyses for a variety of reporting purposes. Continuing on data analytics, lately there have been publications from researchers saying that by collecting your social network profile data, they can tell things about yourself that normally would not be obvious. Allegedly, they can tell all these things: who you might be dating, if you are about to enter a relationship, if you are about to break up, and lastly, if a person is worth hiring. I am guessing these algorithms will soon be transformed into applications. So now, you have already mentioned some great capabilities. Let's see how these capabilities have been realized into applications. For instance, an airliner has launched this meet and seat service for its customers. This service allows you to browse Facebook or LinkedIn accounts of other passengers on the same flight. Maybe there is someone you know, or there is someone you would like to meet, allowing you to make your seat selection based on where people that might interest you will be sitting. This sounds really cool for someone looking to network with potential employers, partners, and people with common interests. But on the other hand, would you really be comfortable when someone that sits next to you on a flight knows a lot about your personal and business life? This one is called Girls Around Me. This mobile application helps you see where nearby girls are checking in and shows you what they look like and how to get in touch. I am guessing that by now some of you have already added this in your wish list, but I'm sorry to inform you that currently it's been banned from the App Store. Although there are some 1 million users that have managed to download it before it was removed. But really, if you think about it, this is an example where such capabilities have been considered as abusive and cause public concern, resulting in banning the app. Did you ever want to know the name of a total stranger without having to go through the task of actually talking to them? With this mobile app, you just point your camera at a person across the room and it conducts facial recognition where it can find that person's Facebook profile. Recognize is a great tool in the hands of professionals or people with good will, but in the hands of wrong people, what are the possible bad abuses? This particular app has been out as a testing demo. Here, I'm going to do a small demonstration on what kind of information can be extracted from a mobile photo. Let me go to my browser. To open my browser, and this is Jeffrey's EXIF Viewer. This is an online web application where you can upload a photo and it can reveal you the hidden information that is included with that photo. And to find the photo, we are going to go to my online Flickr account. Flickr is an online social networking site used mostly by people dealing with photography. This is my online personal account, and for the purposes of this demo, we're going to use this photo. Let me open this photo. Yes, and we can either download it or we can just copy the link. Let me copy the link. So, yes. Now I'm going to right click and copy the URL link. And we are going back to Jeffrey's EXIF Viewer website, where we're going to paste the link in the URL window. And let's see what information it can reveal for us. So we can see that this photo was taken from an Apple iPhone 4. We can also see the date that it was taken. And most importantly, we can see the geographic information, the latitude and the longitude of the exact location. Scrolling downwards, we can also see the location on map. We can see the street address and we can see the exact building where this information, this photo, was taken. There is a lot of other information included in this photo, but we are not going to examine it in this presentation. So let's get back to our presentation. So what do you think? Interesting? Up to this point, we have looked into some questionable applications. But now, we are going to talk about real crime. We are going to talk about cybercrime. There are many types of criminal activity initiating from online interaction, but we are going to talk about these three that, in my opinion, can cause the greatest harm. To start with, social engineering is the act of manipulating a person towards engaging him in actions that would not normally agree to. It is estimated that some 65% of security breaches to corporate environments involve some kind of social engineering. Social engineering can take many forms depending on the type of attack. One important type is cyber scammers. Cyber scammers are pretty much the same as traditional scammers, but the use of the internet offers them new advantages like anonymity and impersonation of people you would naturally trust. This is an actual scam attempt from someone that impersonated a real client of an organization. This cyber scammer hijacked the client's email account, and by reading through the account email history, he knew exactly who to contact and how to manipulate him in an attempt to transfer funds. But although the person receiving this scam email didn't fall for it, these criminals get better in their skills day by day, and most certainly they will try again. So, you should all be ready not to fall for it when your turn comes up. Another important type of social engineering are online predators. Let's see this video clip.
Meeting a teen girl online is actually pretty easy. You can go into any chat room and just start talking. Most of the girls are usually so insecure and desperate for
attention from older guys is totally flattering. They're so much more mature and understanding than the guys my age.
Age actually works to my advantage. They like to brag to their friends that they're dating an older guy, so I just play along and pretend I'm really
interested in the same things I am. You can talk forever and really get to know someone without worrying about looks or whatever. That's the best thing about
chatting seems unthreatening to them, so they lower their guard. After a while, I start talking about how we're soulmates and how lucky we are to have found each other.
Other people don't understand. I know what I'm doing. If you really care about each other, there's nothing wrong with me.
Meeting them is the goal. Once I get them out of their house, well, that's when things get really interesting.
Online predators know what they're doing. Do you?
Such predatory behavior is not limited to children. In fact, is not uncommon amongst adults. Online predators are for sure not something you would wish to find online. This type of online crime is becoming a real problem now. Maybe some of you have heard about it. What is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is the use of information technology to harm or harass other people in a deliberate, repeated, and hostile manner. It can be posting rumors or gossip about a person on the internet, causing hate campaigns against them. The psychological and emotional outcome of cyberbullying are similar to those of real-life bullying. The difference is real-life bullying often stops when the victim and the bullies are separated. And moreover, it is limited in scale because bullies have a name in the real world, whereas in the virtual world, anonymity is an enabler. Cyberbullying mostly affects young people and can follow them everywhere. There is no escape. Here are some examples of cyberbullying. Let's see where a real-life cyberbullying incident has resulted.
Natasha McBride was 15 when last year she was bullied not on Facebook but on a smaller social networking site.
Tash came home from school one day, floods of tears, and saying that she never wanted to go back to the school again. It was quite serious. It wasn't just a fallout with friends that she'd had, and I believe that her mother did look into possibly transferring schools, etc. So it sort of shows the seriousness of the nature.
What began as a disagreement in school soon went online. Panorama understands that at the height of the problem, there were 30 pages of critical comments about Natasha on one social network. Her father believes it contributed to what happened next.
It was a perfectly normal evening. There'd been discussions at tea, there'd been a little bit of a fallout with one of her friends, and then at 9:30 at night she just walked out. So something had happened that she just decided enough's enough, and yeah, she walked out the house.
Early the next morning, Shani Irwin, an officer with the British Transport Police, was called to the scene of an incident on the railway line.
At about 2:30 in the morning on February the 14th, a train driver discovered the body of a young female on the railway lines just further down here.
So it was just up here, yeah?
Yeah, it's just on the bridge here in front of us.
Unfortunately, that is where real cyberbullying led Natasha. Another type of cybercrime is cybertrolling. Cybertrolling is when a person spreads disharmony on the internet by starting arguments or upsetting people by way of posting provocative, irrelevant, or off-topic messages. Basically, trolls set out to provoke a reaction by upsetting and offending other people as much as they can. And to show how cybertrolling look like, do you remember the cyberbullying victim from the previous video, Natasha? After her death, her friends created an online tribute site on Facebook, only to be attacked later by trolls. They published repulsive posts like these. Here, we will see what cybertrolling can cause. In this video, Jessie is an 11-year-old victim of
using her online name, Jessie Slaughter.
I'm happy with my life, okay? And if you can't, realize that and stop hating, then you know what? I'll pop a Glock in your mouth and make a brain slushy.
This video also went viral. Internet trolls thought that 11-year-old Jessie needed a comeuppance, so they went to work. Malcolm Blackman saw what happened up close. Today, he's part of the activist group Anonymous UK. But when the Jessie Slaughter campaign was at its height, he was in close contact with the people who were attacking her.
I spent quite a lot of time with several notorious world trolls. I spent some time in their company, obviously not in their personal company, but online. I gained a modicum of respect for them for what I do, and they in turn, over the time I ran with their pack, gained my respect.
Stop hating on me!
So what happened to Jessie?
Well, Jessie became the target of pretty much a worldwide viral hate campaign. It wasn't just the trolls. I mean, it became a vehicle for anyone to jump on to really slaughter Jessie Slaughter.
And if you hate me, you know what?
The trolls got what they wanted. Jessie posted another video a few days later, this time in great distress. Remember, she's 11 years old.
Okay, this is Jimmy Butter. I just want to tell you guys that you ruined my life. My household has been torn.
And don't be saying suicide.
I'm not. I'm saying
Jessie's father intervened as well.
You guys have ruined my life.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is from her father. You bunch of lying, no good punks. And I know...
But this video didn't stop the campaign. It just made it worse. By now, trolls were invading every aspect of Jessie's life, hijacking her social networking sites, publishing her real address online, and even sending constant pizza deliveries to her house.
I am torn. I have been having emotional breakdowns one after another.
I guess the point is that the internet community is merciless in a sense.
It is, yeah.
It doesn't take account of age or it's just there are people there who are going to...
Well, because they can, literally, they can get away with being, it's a great term, merciless. It is they can be thoroughly ruthless.
I'm quoting from the video. The internet community can be merciless just because they can. Now, how can we identify the problem? Everyone reacts differently to harassment, but there are some warning signs that something is wrong. For example, you can observe physical and behavioral changes, like having trouble sleeping or possibly having nightmares, becoming uncharacteristically withdrawn or antisocial, like refusal going to social gatherings, or in the case of kids, refusal going to school, unexpectedly closing a computer when others come near, anxiety, depression, and poor concentration. asking questions about revenge, death, or suicide, avoiding to go online, or using their cell phone. At the first sign of any of these, or other unusual behavior, you should take note and talk to the other person or child. Catching these things early is a key to prevention. So how can we deal with cyberbullying and trolls? If you realize that you are being attacked, don't respond to it. Remember that this is what they are trying to do, to get a reaction out of you. Don't trust users you don't know in person. In some cases, cyberbullies will first try to become your friend only to gain your trust and as a result revealing something about yourself that they will later use against you. Have this in mind. Report any abnormal behavior and block the communications. For these last 2 points, you can use the options that are usually provided by the sites. Educate your children. Talk to your kid brother or sister. Generally, it is always best to keep an open door policy with your children so that they know they can come to you to discuss problems that may arise both online and offline. Some useful general advice on how to protect yourself against most of the attacks. Don't publish information that identifies you, like your phone number, home address, or date of birth. When creating a password, choose sensible, strong, hard to guess, and at least change it as often as possible. Don't upload inappropriate pictures. Know your account privacy settings. You should always check these settings and be as strict as possible. Don't give applications permission unconditionally. Always consider what information an application is accessing before installing it. Don't use inappropriate language. Bad posts can follow you forever. Stop and think before you click. Don't mix wall posts and personal messages. Following is some very useful advice for parents. It is always better to have home computers located in common areas of the house. Some may suggest that you charge their phones or tablets overnight in your bedroom. Choose tools to filter what they can access online. Service providers usually offer such services, or you can install special softwares for that purpose. Be their friend on social networks so you could have a view on their activity. Help them harden their privacy settings. Use monitoring tools. There are tools out there that can help you monitor their devices. These may sound like invading their privacy, but it's really called caring. The most common activity we do when we are online is to post. We post about ourselves, our interests, and about literally anything. But do we really consider what we are about to post before we do it? And do we realize that once we post something, it can follow us forever? To be more realistic on this is an excellent example that actually proves that there is an overlap between a personal and professional online fingerprint. GoDaddy is a well-established and well-known international business that provides internet services, but unfortunately, the company's image and reputation was badly damaged when its CEO posted on Twitter a photo of him shooting an elephant during a safari in Africa. The post went viral and public reactions was worldwide. A single bad post can cause you liability, embarrassment, reputation harm, and many other unfortunate damages. Let's see this video.
Oh, man. Feel back in business. Compound A, 46.7% by weight. Compound B.
Once you post your image online, you can't take it back. Anyone can see it. Family, friends, anyone. Remember, Think before you post.
So to summarize, we have talked about the rise of social networks. We examined some capabilities and applications. We have seen some real-life examples of cybercrime, and we have seen advice on how to protect ourselves. In concluding, you may wonder whether social networks are a blessing or a curse. But I would say that they have affected our lives positively in numerous ways. But like everything in life, there is always a side that we need to be careful of. The main idea of this presentation is based on a single concept: raising awareness. Making you aware enables you to protect yourself and to protect others. And coming to the end of this video, I would like to thank you for viewing, and I wish you a safe online journey.